Talk to me, Michele. On the street lights on the corner. City vibes got a story. Feel the beat, don't ignore me.
Welcome into another episode of Talk to Me Michele. I am your host, Michele, 1L people, and I hope everybody is doing well out there. Had a very interesting week. I'm not gonna lie. I celebrated my birthday. My sister's birthday's coming up, and we just went out and had a joint celebration. So I'm feeling real good. Libra energy is up in the building. But I want to get to today's topic, and I wanted to cover something that I think a majority of us have experienced, and it's people's audacity. And when I mean people's audacity, when people dare to overstep boundaries that you've already set, disrespectful, and act without consideration, but they still want to be in your personal space. Now, I know you guys should know how I roll by now. I do not like any of that in my personal space. Now, later in the episode, I'm going to bring on my sister and former co-host of the Gossiping Heifers, Miss Rochelle, a.k.a. Rocky, because she and I both went through some audacity experiences when we had that platform. In personal and professional settings, people often cross boundaries by asking for favors. I don't like favors because they always seem to bite back. Common examples when individuals ask to use someone's platform, such as a podcast, a social media channel. And that is the thing I really think people don't understand. Where you do have a platform, such as a podcast, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes you guys have no idea. But others may consistently ask for help, such as advice, free services, connections, yet they offer no compensation, no effort to return the favor. This type of behavior can leave us feeling taken advantage of, because it's been our time that we invested, our skills that we invested, and they were undervalued on both. And when people do ask you for help because you do want to help people out, because like I said, I like to see everybody in my circle shine and win. But when you have people that ask for advice, they get free services or connections, but they offer no compensation, no effort to return the favor. Now, you may be saying, well, shouldn't it be about just the good? Yes, it is. But see, if I'm your friend and I am helping you out, doing stuff for you that I normally would get paid for, don't you think that there should be something down the line? Because it's not going to be, volunteer work all the time. So as a friend, you would feel like you've been used, taken advantage of, and your time and your skills have been undervalued. And see, my thing is, my skill set, God willing, will always remain, but I cannot get my time back. The problem is, I believe this society has incorporated entitled behavior. And that's when people are asking you for favors and support and have access to your resources. Again, not offering anything in return, but they want you to help them out. They have no regard for your time, what you got to step away from, your efforts, and your boundaries. Because I know when we get to know people, you pretty much get a good set, even if they don't announce it, you have a good idea on what their boundaries are, if you're paying attention. But people used to always hit me up for free services, whether it's asking for free services, using of people's platforms for their benefit, or seeking personal support. But at the same time, if you go ahead and help some of these people out, they rarely show appreciation. I'm telling you, they rarely show appreciation, offer anything of equal value. They assume that their needs take a bigger priority over yours simply because they ask. That is a sense of entitlement. That strains relationships, and it leads to feelings of being used and unappreciated. But see, I used to be that person, that nice person. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to do this for you, do that for you. That door has closed just for those examples given. People don't value other people's time. People do not value other people's schedules and commitments. So that's why I had to shut that door down of always being available to help somebody. And, nothing in return, no effort, No, not even a damn like on social media. And these people have no consideration for your boundaries. They show no consideration. They discard your time, your energy, your personal space, and they have the nerve to demand excessive attention and to expect you to be available at all times. I had to shut that down quickly. Even when you communicate with people that you're trying to do business with. Hey, I'm only going to be available for this until this time of the day, and then I'm shutting it down. But they'll still text you after hours. They'll still call you, text you first thing in the morning. I'm like, I ain't even had my coffee yet. Are you serious? So those type of people don't worry about being an inconvenience to you. And they may also take too long to finish projects. I'm telling you, people will take up all the time you allow them to. There's been several times where I had to shut something down. I'm like, this is taking too much time. It's got to get off my to-do list. Because if somebody's helping you to finish a project, there should be a deadline. Because, see, especially if you're not paying them, there needs to be a deadline. And so if you're collaborating or you're agreeing to help somebody, it causes so many delays and frustration. And they often fail to respect your schedule, your personal limits, wasting your time and draining your energy, while showing little awareness or care about the impact their actions have on you. As long as they get what they need, they good. But this is what kills me. Like I said, I always wanted to be the helpful helper. But when you go out your way and do it, it's never reciprocated. No, we know what? I'll take social media, for example. There's certain content I will share because I know these are my people. They are actually trying to do something. And it's never returned. I'm like, damn, not one share? Not one like? Damn. And that's just pressing the button. We're not even asking you to go in your wallet. So for this next segment, I had to bring my sister on because we definitely had a lot of audacity situations when it came to the Gossiping Heifers. All right, this is the segment where I'm bringing my sister in, my former co-host of the Gossiping Heifers podcast. What's going on, Rochelle?
I just had to refresh my throat with some quenching.
You were parched?
Yeah, I was a little parched. So I got me some delicious, cool water here. But I'm doing lovely. I'm blessed.
Well, I appreciate you coming back on because I had to bring you on for this episode because you experienced the audacity of people when we did the Gossiping Heifers.
Yeah.
And so I want to go through the process of guests asking to be on the platform. It was an audacity for a lot of people. We got so many damn stories. Like, people really had no relevance. They had no value to the content of the show.
I'm not going to mention any names. But when we were doing the Gossiping Heifers and we had somebody kept asking me, and I always tell people, this is what my way to get out of it. Look, she does the produce and all that. You got to talk to her. But finally, we had one that kept asking me, and I hate when folks put me on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, what do you do? I mean, that was the first, since you want to get on my nerves, what do you do? And when this fool opened his mouth and said, I'm going to take over Instagram. Boy, bye. Bye. Why do you all think that you're going to become famous off Instagram? And this is something that was so embarrassing. Somebody was with a group of some white men. And that white man asked, you remember that?
Yes.
He says, why do black people think they're going to get famous on Instagram? I said, oh, God, they know about it, too. It's bad when the other side knows.
Like I said, people have to realize that show has to bring a theme, relevance of content. How is having certain people on the platform going to be beneficial? Because it has to be beneficial for both parties.
Yeah. People want to just hit you up, and I hate this for you because they want to hit you up for advertisement when they try to find a cheap way. And this is the thing I hate that we do to each other. When I say we do to each other,
right?
We always looking for the hookup.
Yeah.
No one wants to do the right thing. Let me pay this woman for ad because I'm a nobody. This is my first time trying to do this. My movie ain't really out there like that. My book ain't really out there like that. So let me pay for an ad.
Yes. But see, they don't want to do that. And, when we had the Gossiping Heifers platform, we had a lot of people on our platform that should have just served that purpose. Mm-hmm. And, it is expenses to have a podcast. It's expenses involved in everything.
That part.
But then you have a person that has a project, or they have an upcoming summit or retreat, whatever you're trying to promote,
A retreat.
and want to have a conversation about it. But I have no personal interest in it.
It's just certain things you got to understand that, like you said before, you're not interested in.
Right.
And it was even worse with me because I'm not interested in a lot of stuff. So, and I got things that I'm interested in. And even some of the things that I am interested in, I wouldn't say, oh, girl, let's talk about this new hair product or this hot trend, you know. But like poetry, I'm not really into. And if your music sucks, I like music. But if you have an album out I cannot sit here and act like, yo, this is dope.
Right.
This sound like some Jay-Z. No, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not gonna lie. No, I ain't
I'm
got
not
time
gonna lie
for
to
it.
you.
And the thing about it is, most of the time we got approached by people who didn't even support the show. Not a like, not a share, not a comment.
And hold up. See, this is how this whole topic came up. Because we was out in our sitting area chilling, watching a crazy movie. That's another story. She could tell you later. And the movie was so boring, we started this conversation. And so sis started telling me the names of all these people that was hitting her up. And my face was like, oh, really? And I've never seen not one of these people you named.
Right.
Even in the comments.
Exactly.
And that's when I said the audacity of ninjas. You all don't support by just coming in.
Right.
You don't support by like.
Nope.
You don't support on Instagram when she's promoting her stuff with a like or a share. But you want a free ride to get on her platform that she has to pay for.
It's right.
Because this stuff ain't free.
Exactly.
This equipment you use, because you got the good equipment. Because if it was up to me, girl, this would be a jacked up podcast. Because I don't know nothing about this stuff. So you want her to take her investment and invest in your nothing ass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it comes out cruel. It needs to. Because that's exactly how people feel when you don't support and you have nothing to offer, but you also want to get on that platform.
Right.
No.
And I'm like, I'm down to have a conversation if it's going to be relevant. I'm down to have a conversation with somebody who has credibility. Mm-hmm. And that is what the focus is, because I think with the Gossiping Heifers, we had too much of an open platform. We let too many folks...
No, don't say we.
Me.
You were nice. You nice.
I put too many people on as guests that should never have even been considered.
Hello. Amen. I was bumping heads with these people.
Man.
Because the rudest thing to me is to come on somebody's platform because you coming in my house. You've been invited in my house.
Right.
And you think you're going to get smart or act like you didn't hear what I just said. So we're not going to do that. No, we're not. And they need to be happy that Michelle was on me, because y'all think Howard Stearns is bad.
Oh, my God.
If I had the chance and the pleasure to read half the people she had on now, that we had, oh, y'all, girl, I think our numbers would have been higher.
Yeah, it definitely would have been higher. But you know what? Even though that was a real, drag through with that experience, but it also gave me veteran stripes.
No, you learned a lot.
I learned a lot. And the first thing I'm going to tell you, that when I first launched this podcast, it was immediate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't talk to half these folks on a regular basis. I've never seen you in the live. I've never seen you like anything. And all of a sudden, I'm supposed to be interested in talking to you.
And it's certain people that you will bring on the show where you know you're going to have a good conversation.
Right.
And if this person, you got to realize, if you're going to get on the podcast, you have got to be a good communicator. You've got to be able to go back and forth and have a conversation with people.
Yeah.
And some people can't even do that simple task.
No, because you know what? The people I selected for the previous episodes, I selected them carefully. Yeah. Because even though we're not looking for celebrity status every time,
yeah,
but somebody who's going to bring some substance to a conversation is very important to me. So that's why I've had the previous guests that I've selected. This is why, people that you may have never heard of, you need to know about these people because they have very good conversation and talents.
And you put some people on that I didn't know about. I met and know about Amanda Seals through you. And she's also awesome. Every time she was on the Gossiping Heifers, awesome.
Awesome.
Had a good, and I can name some others. I'm not going to go deep. One of my favorite ones I still going to go back is going to be Johnny Gill.
Yeah, Johnny Gill's always been your favorite.
Because he was just so nice.
Yeah.
He was just so down to earth, and to know that this man has been blessed with this kind of talent, and he's level headed to know I'm not above nobody.
Exactly.
It was beautiful.
Exactly.
And then you've had those people that you put on, and you're like, okay, Flatline, dude, what are you doing?
Right. Exactly.
I'll never forget that one comedian we had. Oh my God. And it was horrible.
Oh my, yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Oh,
it was such a depressing podcast. I said, dude, you're supposed to be a comedian.
It was so bad, I took it off my YouTube channel.
Yeah. Oh my God. And this is why you got to understand, you cannot interview with everybody. You're not going to judge. You're not for everybody.
Right.
I know I'm not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you may have a good conversation with somebody else, and it may not go well for me because I'm not vibing them.
Well, that's why I'm really I'm riding the vibe. I put it to you that way. I'm riding the vibe.
You've done good so far.
Right. So far, so good.
I have not seen an interview that you've had that was boring.
Right.
Or a person with no substance.
That is very important. But it definitely gave me the better navigation skills and how to set boundaries with people.
Yeah.
I mean, the boundaries are so strong now. It's like, Secret Service up in this piece.
Boundaries are sexy. I find boundaries so sexy.
All right, now we're going to discuss the audacity of non-supporters asking for favors.
Oh, no.
Because, we experienced so much of that during the Gossiping Heifers era.
Yeah.
And people that don't even, like I said, like or share your content, and they feel entitled to be on the platform, part of the platform. You mind sharing this, tagging you and everything.
Bye.
Right. So the people that will pop out of nowhere, number one, after you've built success, because I always notice, depending on what type of conversation I'm having or who I'm having it with, shows you the difference in interaction.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I will never forget when we were working on an independent film years ago, and I took some behind-the-scene pictures about us, doing the reading of the script.
Yeah.
And somebody that's in the industry saw that picture and decided to hit the director up, talking about, well, it was somebody I saw that was talking about this movie, and I'm an established actress.
Girl, I know who you're talking about right now already.
Like,
I can't, and I just like
you know what? This is why it is so hard to try to share anything, because people, like I said in the last episode of Haters, people see opportunities to try to throw a monkey wrench in the plan.
Or try to go over your head. I notice a lot of people move like this.
Yes.
And I'm one of the people, don't ignore me while I'm at the bottom.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, we the best of friends when you see me coming up.
Yeah.
Because, see, you the one I'm going to ignore.
Right. The main one. If you even, share, like, whatever, comment, it holds with a person because they are working towards a goal. So the more positive feedback you get about something, it's not about blowing smoke up anybody's behind.
No,
it's just about appreciating people going for their dreams and aiming at their goals and just knocking it out. But this also shows me how there is a lack of respect for the platform.
Yeah.
Because you invest so much hard work in it.
Yeah, you do.
And all of a sudden, it's like a drive-by. Because I've had, guests on the show, and the irony of people asking for opportunities but never supporting the journey. That's more nerve than toothache.
And then you also have other podcasters.
But we have learned to handle these situations very tactfully. Learning to decline these requests and manage our relationships with people. Mm-hmm. Because people got a lot of audacity.
Well, see, you better than me when it comes to that. Because
me. No, not anymore.
I'm like daddy. I'm blunt to the point. The moment I see you moving funny, I'm going to call you out on it. So, and that's one good thing. I'm glad I don't have to listen to people asking about getting on the show because I'm not on here no more.
Well, even with me, because I still discuss what I'm doing with the show with you at all times.
Yeah.
Because you always giving me some great advice, topics, and everything. And as soon as I just mentioned on the sidebar about who done came at me and who done asked.
Girl, that was funny to me. I wish that time she had a camera. So you all could see my face, because I'm like the people she naming. Like I said earlier, I never saw them in your podcast. Never. No support, but you want to get on here.
Right.
It's different if it's a stranger, you don't know them,
right,
and you reach out to them. But it's somebody you follow each other.
Right.
They know.
Mm-hmm.
You came and pop in for 5 minutes,
right,
10 minutes.
Never seen you in the mix.
Come in and click the like.
I had one person that hit me up out the blue. We never socialize. We never really interact. And at this time, as he's asking, I remember seeing him in a live that I was in.
Yeah.
And, it was a funny live, and there was jokes in the comments, and I had added him, laughing at something he said. And I'm like, he just act like I wasn't even in the room.
But acknowledging everybody else.
Acknowledging everybody else. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm going to stop adding you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you got folks like that. Yeah. You got folks, I don't understand. I don't know if y'all was raised in the woods by wolves. And, to be honest with you, I think freaking animals would have more common sense. But it's just certain things. You don't support this person. You don't deal with that person. And you ignore them. But then you got the audacity to ask them for a favor.
Yep. They do it
all
the
time.
time.
If you don't get these nuts.
I want to thank my sister for popping on real quick and giving her 2 cents on the situation of audacity of people. But now that I do have an independent platform, and there are certain boundaries I have set in stone. And number one, I'm protecting my energy as well as my platform. I have to set these boundaries because it's essential for maintaining my balance and protecting my well-being in both my personal and professional life. And they help define the limits when you let the boundaries be known. So I have to professionally set boundaries to ensure that my skills, my contributions are valued, and it's protecting me from being overworked or used or both. So I'm trying to foster, mutual respect with everybody I work with. I'm trying to build healthier relationships and avoid any burnout or feelings of resentment, because if you let a situation continue, you will gain resentment toward that person. Because once you've said something and said, this is what needs to be done by this time, and this is your role in this whole situation. And once that's been spoken on, there's no misunderstandings afterwards, because it was said. So you knew the commitment before you committed. So when you say it and they agree to it, this is not going to drain your resources. It's not going to be take without offering anything in return. So clear limits protect well-being and assure mutual respect. And as my listeners, I definitely want to keep you guys engaged and just trust my judgment on whatever theme, topic, conversation, or guest I have on this platform. But this is also preventing people from using the platform for self-promotion without offering a meaningful contribution, ultimately enhancing the brand. I got to enhance the brand. It's about the brand's credibility and the overall experience for not only my guests, but my listeners. But also, you have to keep in mind that it dilutes the brand. Matter of fact, I got to shout out to Dr. Candace. Dr. Candace has been going live, so you guys make sure you follow her on Instagram for your mental health. But she brought us up, and she's been a huge supporter. And she said, look, I remember a time when y'all had an honorary heifer, and I knew from then that wasn't going to last. She was absolutely right. And when other people in the comments started responding to the story, they were in agreement with what she was saying. I was in agreement because I know the person she was referring to. It was definitely a bad look, a bad vibe, and it did not work out. So I got to take responsibility for that, because some presence on your platform, it will dilute your brand. It will weaken your brand. The niche that you have created for yourself is going to make it difficult to build trust with people, listeners particularly. In conclusion, protecting your space, protecting your time, protecting your energy is vital for maintaining your well-being and the integrity of your work, because we don't go to work for a hobby. So by setting clear boundaries and being selective about the people and the projects you engage with, that's going to create the environment that fosters respect, creativity, and growth. Make sure that every opportunity that knocks at your door, don't jump at every opportunity. Do a little research, check the vibe, and prioritize the needs that you have. That's going to allow you to fully invest in what really matters, ensuring that your efforts have meaningful connections and high-quality content. Remember, your time and energy are precious resources, so you got to guard them wisely to cultivate a fulfilling and successful journey. Thank you guys again for tuning into another episode, and thanks again to my former co-host and sister, Rochelle, aka Rocky of the Gossiping Heifers. That is dead because I know we were talking with Rodney Perry on live, and he asked about that being resurrected. We was like, we good. We are good where we at. So you guys make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Please leave me a review if you're enjoying the content, and you can follow me on all social media at Talk to Me Michele. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel where there's live interviews, great commentary, and you can also support the content if you're enjoying yourself and get a little merch at buymeacoffee.com/Talk to Me Michele. 1L, people. So until next episode, peace.